Alright. Let's see. Welcome, welcome. Alright. Okay. Hey. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Let's click a couple buttons over here. Oop, welcome. Come on in. Water's good. Okay. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not too under the weather here. Oh, it's a little... Guess I'm not a little sniffly, but hopefully that won't be too bothersome. I guess some juice. How are we all doing? No, it's just like it's usually like the morning. I guess my room is still a little dusty, or just general, I guess, just air quality. Dustiness. And I sneeze a little bit, so it's hard to get all of it out, you know. Just wants to stay in my nose and just kind of drip out or anything. Anyway, welcome, guys. I'm good. I'm good. Awesome. That's good to hear. So I'm in Seattle, so the air quality has been listed as like the world's worst. Over the last month or so, we've had huge forest fires, and they've been really hard to contain. So they've been the air has been polluted with fire smoke and everything. So it's been affecting all of us here. But welcome though. So it's been causing people to cough and feel under the weather and a little bit of sick. So, but it rained yesterday, and I think it's rained maybe a little bit today. So let's see. It's been not great over the last month or so. Yeah. So we beat Portland and China in terms of worst air quality in the world. So yeah. I'm usually inside, so yeah, I'm usually doing okay. But yeah, there's enough smoke particles or whatever going on that it's bad. So anyway, welcome. I'm doing all right. Yeah, I'm a scary bat. Welcome though. Let's see. Hi, Cookie, Judd, Dakota. Welcome. Yeah, and everyone else is coming in. Welcome. Yeah, okay, yeah, I said that I'm safe. But yeah, usually like on my like commute to work, I do have to walk. I guess I park on the other side of the parking lot, which is just really, it's super small. So it only takes me like 10 steps to like get into the building. So during that time, I guess I'm exposed to the air. But that has been raining. Hopefully the forest fires will slowly die out. But it's probably going to take several more weeks until it's actually, purified and everything. So it gets forest fires a lot. They're more in the central Washington, or like more on the east side, like the actual east side of Washington. Usually we just call anything east of Seattle east side. So, but yeah, we have a large amount of trees, which is like wilderness, really domesticated, like in the Seattle area. So anything past that, it's just nothing. It's like if Arizona was just like a forest. It's like you got nothing, and then you got a city. Anyway though, more spooky. Thought about a derby bat. It was spooky. I hope I hope that I'm spooky. I'm not trying to spook you. Fluttershy is more just cute, spooky. I'm just trying to be enough spooky to be like, it's Halloween-ish. Yeah. Hi, real fan. I'm doing okay. Yeah, allergies, yeah. I don't know if it's allergies as much as what I've been explaining, but yeah. Let's see. We should probably get started because this is gonna be 2 characters. I got Pipp and Zipp, so we're gonna have to gotta step up the pace to do 2 of these. Hopefully able to figure this out. So, all right. I asked on Discord, what would you guys like to see for Pipp and Zipp's Nightmare Night costumes? We got peanut butter and jelly, and just like an hour ago, we got Cookie's Princess Peach and Daisy. So I have been thinking more about the PB&J one because I had more time to mull over. Yeah. Maybe I'll do a vote. That might be. There's enough people now. We can probably do that. Let's make a poll. So, Zipp costume. This will be PB&J, and this will be Peach and Daisy from Funny Nintendo Game. Yeah, definitely. There we go. Guess now we can talk about stuff. Work has been fun. They've said that it's been October is like the densest month, or is like the most amount of stuff happening. So I've been super super overwhelmed of like just so many orders that I've had to like grind through and try to do as many as I can. So we're in the busy season, I guess, with months. These are all of our months. Thank you. Make sure everyone votes. So I still see it's 100%. I think there's only 1 vote. 2 votes. Oh, I see. Okay, I got you. So 2 votes equals 100% on that side. Got it. But I finally just, during the slower times at work, I was able to figure out some stuff in CorelDRAW, which is our software program to design the trophy plates. And I'm not familiar with it enough to like, you know, do anything too crazy, but it's like I decided to kind of play with it and like figure out some stuff. Because usually what I've been doing with the trophy plates has been I have to like align things, you want to center things. So I've always put a guideline in the middle of the box and then trying to like manually grab the text and then move it over and try to like nudge it over, like try to line it up with the center point. And it's been that actually slowed me down every time because I had to do like there might be like 12 or more plates on one order, and so like for every single text I had to like go in there, kind of go like to kind of center it, and just kind of like eyeball it, and it's not gonna be perfectly centered. So I spent some time and was like, hey, look, there's align buttons. So I found keyboard shortcuts. I like remapped keyboard shortcuts into my own custom ones. So I put like 6 and 7 to be like aligned horizontally and vertically. And so now I can like click the text in the box and then click 7 on the keyboard, and it aligns it perfectly. And it's like, man, I've been there for like 6 or more months, and I just learned that I can do that. And it's like, man. So now I'm able to take like an order that usually takes me like a half hour. Now I can do it at like in 20 minutes. It just like really does speed it up, and like I found new streamlined ways to do it. So thankfully that was super good because I can do my orders. Now that I have an abundance of orders, I get like 10 or more, doing the next week. It's like, okay, let me, try to do them as fast as I can. So now I can do them as fast as I can now. It's like I can actually get through them all. That's been super good. So during the small times, I can R&D to figure out how to do things faster, so it becomes more busy, I could just go and then get them all done. Yeah. Derpy bat. These wings are actually made out of cardboard. There's little tiny bits of tape. I don't know if you can really see them little bits in there. So this is a costume. This is like a little, you know, like with elf ears and like a cosplay. You like put the something like on top that's made out of some material. This is a costume. Wish I put more details into it to make it look like more. Yeah, but there's little tiny tape marks. Yeah. Obviously, yeah, if she was a real bat, Derpy bat was real, she probably would be able to. She might have like 2 sets of wings or something, and then it'll be more hard to fly. But if they were real, then she probably would. A little still clumsy with them. Yeah. Let's see. We have 5 votes. And we'll go until it says 5 minutes. Otherwise, with the puppets, I've updated them. So now I got way too many bips here. It's kind of overlapping each other. But yeah, you can see that there's the same general principle as how we did the Izzy and Sunny ones, is that they have little handles that I can grab and then do specific things here. Then I can get head squash and stretch, body squash and stretch, whole body, everything squash and stretch, and from the bottom squash and stretch this way. They got wings. There's a little slider, so I can choose what frame here. Of course, the head, and then the body flop, and then the mouth. So if I kind of go through all these, you know, be able to kind of see what all these do. I don't think I really redid much to their hair. Did spend some time trying to make new palettes for them. In terms of that, the colors, I used the same color IDs in Toon Boom. Colors have IDs. There's like this like the hair might be, you know, color itself might be color ID 1, but if I use the exact same color in a different file where I just copy and pasted the same puppet and put it into a new file and then recolored it, and if the hair was the same color ID, if I bring them both into one file, then Toon Boom gets confused because like the color IDs are the same, and so it'll just kind of like pick and choose which one it wants to be. And so like I've had to redo the entire color palette because then they start to maybe meld into each other. I don't know if this will work, but if I start clicking on some of these, maybe it'll swap. So each character now has their own set of colors and actual new color palettes. So, very technical thing there. Anyway, I think we're good. I'll close the poll. Thank you guys so much. We'll get the results for you guys. So we did get 1 vote for PB&J, but I feel like that might have been is Grump here? Because I don't think, I think Grump said the PB&J one. But I guess we're going with Days and Peach. Alrighty, you got it. You demanded it. All right, hi Purple. Welcome. All right. So what we usually do is start for a sketch. So we're gonna make some room for that. Okay. So the sketch. Let's get the zip here. It's a little bit slow. It's a little how do you react? We'll get P sketch for Pipp. There we go. Beep beep deep beep deep beep deep. I think these puppets are just too powerful that they're slowing me down. I don't need a peg per se, but it's definitely a little bit easier to work with if I do. Yep. I'm pulling Wrong buttons. Problems that my microphone is like right in front of my keyboard, so I'm doing this kind of blind. You can't see what actually I'm pressing here. So let's start here. And kind of hide everything. Okay, so Daisy and Peach. What versions should they be? So after they kind of change over the years, very slightly. Like Daisy, like had a much different design, like in Mario Tennis 64 compared to now. We got all the sports ones. We got the shorts. Let's see. I do like the more 64 style for Daisy's dress. I feel like that's one of my favorite designs. I do like the classic style. I think I'll go with that for Daisy. Oh, we have to choose which one is which. Didn't think of that. Maybe Pipp should be Peach, and then Zipp should be Daisy. I think that'll work. Yeah, let's go for that. Welcome. Hello, hello. Hi, cartoons. I think we'll go with that. So Pipp will be Peach. So how do we distinguish them now? Yeah, just personality-wise, I guess. Okay. So we'll just kind of get... Whoop, I can still got my charcoal brush from last time. Let's change that. Where's my tools? There you are. Swap over to a brush, maybe? I feel like my... Is that... Totally blanking. Is that actually how I had it before? Where I had my tools separate from node view? I think that's right. It just seems... Thinking about it now, it's like that's kind of awkward. Okay, let me send this up. There we go. Okay, so we get a... So I kind of drew like a rectangle first and then drew the spikes. Because just trying to draw like the actual design first, it's actually a little bit tricky compared to just trying to do it first. Because then I could just kind of go in and then delete that, and now I got the leftover shape of what I want. And that's all kind of laid out right. There we go. Hello. We got a fancy little check mark. Not used to seeing that. Does that mean you're subscribed to me, or is that just like how you're got a lot of subscribers in regular YouTube? Let's see. It's like the Twitter verification thing. Dresses on horses, never too fond of them. Well, that's good. It's verified. That's a good sign. Always want that. And I got long gloves, so maybe we can have some sort of design here. It could be long gloves here, and then we'll have the big. I'll add some fruity lines here. And just always kind of just build this out. So it has to go over the tail. And then it could be more like that kind of a shape. Just more like the angle is more over here instead. And then some lines there. I think there's a little brooch there. So you see what I'm drawing there. And then some shoes. And then the colors is what's going to make this look good or not. We can leave the hair, because I think if I add the hair it might be a bit much. I still want it to be Pipp, so I think having it be completely over the top, I think, yeah, just be like she's like wearing a costume compared to having like everything be Peach, I guess, or Daisy in this case. So it's like they're just kind of just wearing the dress costume rather than try to do everything, I think. It has a little earring here. Maybe we can kind of get that that little bit, and that'll be it. Okay. Let's do Zip Daisy. So, hey, Daisy, how does Tara go on here? It's just gotta be, It's just gotta be like behind your head or something. It's got more of a actual daisy design here. And the flower. Now where did you go? Let's see. How's this looking so far? And hello. Let's see. I'll save. Okay, so we'll do the same design here. Get the big shoulder pad things. These kind of have ruffles. Let me get a better reference. Classic Daisy 64. That's good. I had a little stripes. Ooh, that's animated. Stop. That girl. That's good. I got her crown's like red. That's cool. Long gloves. Some little more flowery design here. And another big daisy. Let's see. I want to figure out the design there though. I think that'll be good. Let's try to rough it in. Okay, so the ruffles. Kind of design, how do you describe that? So lines and can't see. I'm gonna have to rotate my mind here. I can do that. I always forget I can rotate my whole world. Something like, is that right though? So obviously my picture is more straight up like this. Can't really see. There we go. That's cute. Okay. Shoes. Let's get rid of this one. That might be enough. We could probably get just enough crazy with something like this. That'll be good. Okay. See if I can get back to Peach here, and we'll kind of set these up. Put them in sports attire. Yeah, I think the dress, I've always had trouble just trying to like figure out how to make a dress. I've always just kind of had them. I think it's just like the bottom doesn't make any sense. I'm just trying to select anything at this point. Oh, wrong layer. So I feel like the problem that it's at, it needs to somehow go more like that. Okay, what would that mean though? No proof dress, so we can design it. I do like the dress. Maybe we can get some of these elements in there without it. Okay. Daisy sports outfit. Oh yeah, it's just like shorts, isn't it? Okay, that's a good one. Okay, so instead we get something. So to get shorts, probably just like cut it kind of like at this point. These are little pockets, but I don't think pockets are gonna really get to work. It's kind of just hugger figure, I guess, instead here. Something more like that. I think that'll work. I'm gonna get Pony wearing a dress. Just so I can see the shape of it, and then I can figure it out from there. Or maybe I can get Pony wearing peach dress. Ah, that's much nicer than what I was going for. Okay, let's try that. References are, you know, are your friends, so don't feel like, oh, I like had to be blind from them, but it's like they're good. Obviously, like just take it as face value and then design it with only that in mind, then that's bad. Might have to like delete her tail because I think that might actually start to actually get in the way here. So you get something more like with this kind of a shape, and then you can start to add the designs here. Let's get my perspective tool and just kind of grab this out and make it a little bit taller, longer. And then we'll just have to delete her tail, I think. Well, it's just kind of like connected to there, I think. There you go. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, let's get going. Yeah, that looks better. Cool. Okay, I'm happy with that. Okay. So let's jump into here and let's start going. So let's get our head and pick a suitable place for the tiara. Gets the crown. I'll put it here. P crown. And as I figure out where I want to put this, give it a peg. Beep. So connect it to there, and it needs to also connect into here. So now it's actually all connected. Okay, so now I can start drawing. Pipp, and we'll add. I do have these colors. Probably start from the tiara color itself, and then go from there. Okay. Let's make this different colors so I can then draw on top. Put it on a lower layer, get my right color, and then vector it. I'm gonna try and speed run this as best I can here, so I'm trying to make room for your conversations, but just know that I'm gonna try and crunch on here. I was trying to rotate a perfect circle. That's not how that works. And let's get that. Let's get a darker color for there. Actually, that should be regular paint. Let's find regular blue. Outline would not be the center. Fill that back in. Get this color. Get rid of that. Looks like these aren't connected unless I do this. There we go. Need some little clipping errors. Clean that up. Get rid of this. And try and copy it, flip it. Let's flip. Okay, so we got that. What happened here? And I could just get another. Oh, wow. There we go. Wasn't so hard. Here we go. Ground. Okay. Good. Save. Okay. Let's do earring before I forget there. So that's actually going to be the hair as well. The earring. So it has to like kind of flip inside of the hair. So that's gonna be a little tricky to manage depth wise. That's just Tara there. But I guess it still works if I get her bips, if I move the head, it should still move. Because I'm still connected to something. So I guess that one. I probably should connect this to the head, but I think this as a intermediate still works. So, yeah. Circle. And so we'll get the same colors as before. Where'd it go? And does it think it's on the same layer? Probably. So that's my outline. Okay. So now we got that. We get earring. And then let's get a shine on it. So we get a new color. Brighten it up. Circle. Tiny. So there we go. A little bit smaller, a little bit more that way. Make the whole thing a little smaller there. And earring. Okay. Next, let's do arms. So let's go to body, front leg. Let's see. which one this is. So I have to do the same thing, I think, from last week as we did from Izzy, where I'm gonna make new versions of these drawings. Make these ones to make a new one that'll be the default one. That'll be the princess one, and then have an extra one in case I need to get it back. So I need to copy and paste it. And then just to have another one, and then make this one the default one. That'll be the princess. So I need a new color for her dress. It's kind of close to her regular colors. So we'll just kind of bump this up. Into something like this. So that'll be outline, and then fill will be a little bit more desaturated. And what we're going to do is put it into an upper layer. Let's see if I like that. I think it's too bright, so we can bring it down a little. Not too much though. It's more pink. That's good. And then get the other parts here. Hopefully these will be simple as that I can probably just recolor it. Into the white glove. So let's see if I have a white. I have white. Let's see where we are. If I change that color, and now I need a gray-ish color for like this part. And let's see where everything else is. Okay. Here's its base. So we get a new drawing here. And let's see. There is some room, so I can go back up and add some room there. Or like to cut off so you can see like her regular colors there. And I think... no, it has to go all the way down. Okay, so we'll make this be all white with the gray now. I can just do everything and then find my white and fill in the fill. See how like there's a little X section here. It's not, that's that part. So we'll need to change the shape because I want to make this. Just thinking. Because I could leave it to be this shape, but I think... or I could use this as my new bottom. And just call it good there. Because otherwise then it can be too complex. I'm okay with that. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. Okay. So I gotta take these drawings and recreate them on the other leg. So we'll get the shoulder here. So I'll just try and select my drawings that I made. If I put them in here, new drawing, unselect, overlay, paste, and we'll see whether or not that worked. Okay. Upper new drawing, delete, and do the recolor again. See if there's anything else in there. Nope. Select everything, then do the fill. Bottom part. Let's get the, see where everything is. So let's go and go into select all layers mode. I could just select all of this, go into the other one, duplicate, remove frame, delete everything here, paste that in, and then we'll see what we're missing. We got this, so I delete that. Just like this, paste that in. I think we're good. Cool, okay. That's both legs, front legs. And then to do body, so we get the torso, which is here. Flip it so I can see which way it goes. And let's see if we can add an overlay there. Or I can just draw on top by making a duplicate, deleting frame. And so now I'm going to draw on top with the colors here. Let's get my outline. Or not. Get my outline here and see whereabouts I want my neckline to be. It's possible I may want to just kind of put this onto my line art itself like that, and so I can be able to fill it in a little bit more simple here. Connect those up. So this will be the bottom part of it, so I'm going to lower this down. Or I could just add a couple bips here and then move these bips up. And then flower these guys out. And because the dresser is probably going to go over the legs anyway, we could just fill the rest of this in because the legs on top, that'll work. And we colored the outline here very carefully. And then, because that's a new line, we have to make it into its own bibble here. So that's good. Now we get to make the brooch thingy on top. Can I steal this drawing? So that's kind of the design that I want anyway. So go back here. And circle. Okay. Looks like it has a yellow outline. So I could just yellow. There we go. Give me a new color, yellow, and we can just kind of see if on the right layer. Tint it down. Okay, get in there. And the dress, the actual dressy part. So could just make a new layer on top of the dress here and call it dress, or I can call it Pipp dress. Put it into the torso composite. Give it a peg. Put it with the torso so that then the torso moves, the dress will move, and so I don't have to re-rig anything too special. And let's start drawing that. Get a general shape here. And get my general colors here. I'm using a general color. I like to recolor that and put it onto a lower layer. Get a new line. And what colors are these? These are probably going to be the same colors that I got there. And vector it. And because I'm selecting every layer, let's get it to that. Obviously, if you're gonna do this on your own, you're probably gonna spend a little bit more love and care into designing this, rather than me trying to be a madman and do this as quick as possible. Because I know that I gotta do 2 of these. Thankfully, Cookie helped me with trying to... Well, actually, I was thinking because they would be different, so I wouldn't be able to copy and paste it too easy. I'd still have to make 2 designs at this point then. So, that's what I was thinking. I was like, wait a minute, now I have to make essentially 2 versions now. Because I could just make like an exact peach dress again, but of course, the next time just have it be Daisy's colors and then just call it good. That was almost what I was leaning towards, and now it's like, well, now you want sports dress, and it's like, oh, well, now I can't exactly copy and paste that, because it'll be different colors, so, or a different design and shapes. Because it's harder to make new shapes than recolor it. Because you can always just go through and like, literally just go through this color and then change whatever color you want it to be. Later on, if you use the right color index, as you talked about earlier, said every color in Toon Boom has its own color palette, and each color in the color palette has its own ID. There's like this huge string of almost, it's not related to the hexadecimal colors themselves, but it's just like some internal Toon Boom magic. And every color somehow has a 6 or 7 digit ID. So it does get confusing where it's like, oh, well, you're using, technically, it could be like the same color, like 2 blacks might be the same, you know, color on the color spectrum, but if you start to bring them into, copy paste the puppet into a different file, then you might start having recoloration problems. So, palettes are nice when they, you know, work for you rather than against you. Flash, only like recently, you know, like 5 or so years ago, added palettes. And it works the same way, where every color has its own ID, but it's always got to be clunky in some way. So, I probably should be using palettes in Flash, but they're just so not fun. Take some of the magic out of it a little bit, but eh. Something like that. Obviously, it's the wrong layer, so that's where the peg comes in. So we can kind of try and move this to be above, but also below some things. So I want it to just be above her, her butt. It seems like I'm trying to move it as slow as possible here. Ah, had it. Does that work? Also move it 1B. That's working. Forgot which way numbers work. Ah, there's like a one section where I have it to be exactly where I want it. But it's like pixel perfect to get it. Okay, cool. Yeah! Alright, got it. I would like the legs to be on top, so I wonder if I can... Everything's connected. If I bring the leg section, it's already on top. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll just have to go through here and just kind of pop it on top. Pop on top. Just gotta move that over a little bit. Obviously, we want to get rid of the sketch lines I got so I can see what I'm doing. Hi, Seth. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. That's not too bad. Okay. I can just recolor her hooves. That might work. Let's see. So I'm going to duplicate, remove the drawing, and see how it kind of zooms around there. So the hoof here, just make it like recolor it. What color would it be to be a shoe? Shoes are brown, but it's already kind of brown. This will work. I just need to recolor the other parts here to make this dark. And we get it a little darker. There we go. I am doing Peach and Daisy with Pipp and Zipp for their characters. So almost done with Peach, nearly there. Thank you. Hope you can watch the VOD later of this. I think that'll be good. Swaps, so get rid of the keyframe. And then recolor it again. Okay. So let's go back to sketch and turn it off. See what we get. And we get something not too shabby for like an hour's worth. And of course we always just go back in and clean anything up that we like. What we don't like here. Looks like we covered up her tail pretty good. Yeah, Zipp's, once we get to expressions and like animations, we're probably gonna have her be a little upset. I can hide her section here under her everything. There we go. I'm not unhappy with it. There we go. I think Zip's going to be a little bit simpler. At least we can copy paste a lot of the stuff we just did, as well as she's just going to have this little short thing. That'll be good. Okay, let me get some water break so I can breathe for a second here as we work on the next one. Alrighty. Whew. Okay, here we go. Zip. Oh yes, everyone, go to your sink and get some water. It's highly important. Let's go. Zip. Crown. Plug it in. Plug it in. And as long as it's connected to something, I could just connect it to the head. But the head is way over there. Beep. There we go. Okay. And so now I could just steal Peach's crown here. Copy. Z crown. Paste. Okay. That's what I mean, like making the shapes is a little bit more time consuming than changing the colors. So, gonna try and elongate this a little bit more. So we don't have too much So when it moves, we can get some more wiggle room to move it if we need to. Because we can always like animate it. Like have the crown itself, you know, do a woo woo woo. Or like any kind of physics or any kind of rotating things. We could do that. But if it was just literally just sliced up like that, like if we just kind of sliced up at that angle, then you wouldn't be able to move it. So, want to be able to do that. And so now we're going to go into Zipp. And see that she has some interesting colors. And looks like it already kind of recolored it for some reason, and I'm not sure why. I think Pipp needs to be on top. So that's another Toon Boom thing. That's like this palette in like this order from top to bottom actually changes how it looks, or like what gets priority. So I want to move this up a little bit, and I feel like I might be using something in here. I'm using hair outline, which is probably using the same ID color as like another character's hair outline. So that's what I mean. Like it starts to get more confusing of like, not only am I using a whole bunch of different colors, which are nice, but it's also using specific color. This particular color is using a specific color ID, and then based on what palette is on top, it's like, what? Start breaking it down. It's like, wait a minute, what? So we go to Zipp now. Zipp's from Puppet, new color, and let's make it more orangey in color. And I feel like I'm changing the wrong crown here. So let's recolor this one. And there we go. Okay. So now we're using the right one. And I feel like we can get rid of some of these. I just recolored this. I want to recolor this bit here. And we've colored this bip and this bip. Ugh. It's because the line is still there, it's trying to overlap it, which is what's going on there. Okay, so I can grab these drawings. This is why make sure everything's super happy. Probably using different layers might be a little bit more beneficial. And so we can move this up so we can actually see it at this angle over here. And I see Zipp Puppet new color. Make the center of it more tealish. And then make the outline maybe like the same kind of color, like a darker tealish. And then, let's see. I can start to move things down so I can have more layers. So I put this down onto a lower layer, grab this. Actually, that's good. I put the new design that I want, which are going to be white flowers. We'll get white. And then, now because it's a new layer, I can just kind of go around like this and then not worry. And then I got flower. Flower shape. Looks like I moved that, so I have to grab both of them at the same time. Okay, so we got Daisy. Cool. Okay. I feel like I want to recolor the outline here, so I'm going to make a darker color and then go around. Yeah, what I could do is color everything and recolor these bips. And kind of choose a more unsaturated, darker color there. That'll be our basis for some of our other colors later down. I think she has a yellow shirt, I think. It's not gonna be as used, I guess. Okay. Do the same thing with the legs. Still have to do all the leg parts, which I know it's not too fun. There's just a lot of going back and forth here. And actually, it wouldn't be puffy. It would just be some sort of maybe like a line at top or something. So we'll get a new. We'll get the shirt color, which would be like a yellow, and I think I'll just make like an outline, maybe. Maybe yellow. Bring it down. Wonder why that's happening. Maybe a little bit lower. Am I on everything? No. So I can bring this down to like maybe here. And then I'll line there. So this will be like the shoulder cuff kind of thing for the short sleeve. So I probably want to make this a little bit darker actually. Maybe more orangey. And then we'll get the actual real shirt color, which will then be more yellow and more bright. There's a hole, so I can't fill it in. But now I can. I wonder about what this is doing there. So this will be the shirt sleeve. Was able to get this curve at the top without making a new corner, new point, and then I could add that in. Should kind of overlap it, or like kind of extend past the corner there, so I can make it look like it has more depth in it. Probably would otherwise. So here we go. Shoulder cuff. And then because of that, that means she has short sleeves, which means we don't have anything to do with the other rest of the shoulder, or the rest of the entire arm actually. And copy that onto the other part here. I'm going to add my drawing actually, and then in this part, paste it in because it's all centered. Actually, it should still work. Let's see. It's green, so I'm not sure why. Does that work? Yes. Goody goody. Put it back on. Let's see. There's an advertisement in Super Series. Yes, that was half of the reason why I called it that. Yeah, I explained in the FAQ of why specifically it's all that, but definitely the main reason was that. True though. Actually, I had a kid in, there was a kid in elementary school that had like a name like that, and they had Yoshi part of it. I was like, that's like a realization, you know, like in first grade, that's like people can just have Yoshi as like part of their formal name. I was like, whoa. Like I was being mind blown by that. It's like, yo. So I was like, you know, if I ever make my own name, I'm gonna put Yoshi part of it. So I did it. Yeah. So we're gonna get the sectioning part here, but it'll just be like a shirt. So probably a little bit shorter than where I got the sketch there. A little bit more to the right. And just some flower placement. And there we go. Just mulling over whether I want to put it onto the drawing here or not. But I think, did I do it with Peach? I think so. Let's go back in and see if my colors are correct. Okay. He's that Marzian. He's a superhuman. Yeah, the Mario movie, that's looking not too bad. Definitely I talked about it last time that the voices are interesting. And people have noted that we haven't heard what Seth Rogen Donkey Kong sounds like yet, so there's plenty of other surprises, you know, we don't know about yet. Because we got the penguin as apparently a famous person as well, it's possible that we'll get even more, just like other people that weren't part of the, you know, the original trailer or initial like release poster. You know, like the poster doesn't say like, oh, the penguin is voiced by someone famous, so it's possible that we'll get more characters with more famous people. So that's something. I said that in the worst way possible. And Mario, we're just sort of talking about you, but not really. Just her name. What a coincidence. Yeah, I've always been a fan of Mario and the games. So, like in school, I made some comics. I remember, like, I was busy at work. No, I wasn't at work I was a kid. I was bored at my mom's work, and was like, I'm bored. Mom was like, well, you know, I can't really help. Do something on your own, I guess. I was like, okay. So I started to like get some paper and pen, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a comic book. And so I actually started to like write out a Mario Party 6 comic book. That was the one that came out at the time. I was like, ooh, the day and night cycle, you know, we could do something with that. I was just kind of just having fun with that. And I was like, started making a comic. I was like, oh, okay, this is fun. I got something to do now. Bring that in. I don't know what happened to it. I'm sure I lost it somewhere. It was only like 10 or so pages. I don't even. It was more just like, you know, like the introduction, like, wah, welcome to the world of Mario Party. You know, and didn't really get too far into like anything interesting. It was more just all the introductions of like this game board features, you know, the thing, and it was like just such a kid way of explaining that, you know. Yeah, it's fun. I like doing stuff like that. Obviously, I like making stories and telling stories for you guys, and apparently that all worked out. And you guys like watching my little stories. So thank you. I get a little belt thing here. It's looking pretty good. I think I want to recolor this into the gray. I guess we could make it more bluish. Start to recolor some of these. What do we got? I like Jack Black's. Jack Black is anything but subtle. Yeah, he was great. Mario 64. I played Mario 64 a little bit on the NSO, which I'm sure people are going to say, like, well, don't play it on the NSO. It's, you know, you have to use the Joy-Cons or the Pro Controller, and it's like, that's not how you're, you know, it's not how it was meant to be designed for. But I felt like the challenge from the game came from the controls. It's just not having a good camera, which ironically, you know, being the first camera in a video game, you know, 3D environment, it's supposed to, you know, be the what every game after that should take notes from. But I feel like the camera in that is horrible, and I'm glad that we evolved past that. That we learned from our mistakes. That having a camera controls that's like using the C buttons, which obviously they couldn't help at the time. But okay. See you soon. Thank you. But yeah, having like the C buttons kind of do a in like a grid almost of like certain angles. Was it's not good. Camera that age well. I know it's been. How many games really use that system though? Of like clicking it to like rotate your camera like a certain amount of degrees. I just press like these pips, but I feel like not too many, which you know is good, but it's like yeah, just kind of did show like how not well actually designed that system is. So I didn't really like it. I always felt like the chain chop and Bop on Battlefield is like too aggressive. That's like it's not. It doesn't come from like, oh, I'm trying to get, you know, I can't even like forget what the combo buttons for ground pound is. Now you want me to do it within like a 1 second and try to like get over to him and hit him. And it's like, ah man, hit the post thing. Always felt like that was no matter what in like whatever version of it, like 60 the DS or any other versions. I feel like that's always been my bane. It's always been really tricky to get that one. Oh boy, there we go. Okay, I guess at this point I should probably also want to see where the problem is that the leg layered on top, so I can't just put shorts on. I have to like be systematic about this. Let's see. On my Mac. Oh boy, I'm sorry. I'm gonna play it on your Mac. Oh jeez. Kingdom Hearts 1 had it. Kingdom Hearts was on the PS2. I'm not familiar enough. Does that mean that it had 2 sticks? Like the DualShock? Did DualShock 2 have 2 sticks on it? Because now with the PS1 it definitely only had like... PS1 didn't have a joystick. Huh. What I want more orange. You want shoulder buttons. Ah man. So like the R1 and R2 would be shoulder buttons, and then they would kind of like be okay, and they would kind of rotate at a certain degrees every time. Oh man. I guess with other like faster games like Splatoon, you know, you want that gyro controls. So I feel like that's like the future of like camera controls, is trying to kind of like move your controller to get those faster reactions. That's better. And just, you know, just physically moving the controller removes that sense of like, if I press this button, what's gonna happen kind of problem. And I feel like that's, you know, that's gonna turn away not super gamer people, you know? Like, how did they really get past playtesting with the 64 where you press it 3 or 4 times to like look behind Mario? It's like, yeah. I guess with Ocarina of Time, it's like at the same time, and they had the Z targeting, which you click, I guess Z, and then you would kind of flip around to like be behind Link immediately. So anyway, I probably just didn't have enough buttons for Mario 64 with all the controls at that time to really develop that to be good. Use a PlayStation controller on Mac to play Mario 64? Oh man. That's confusing. That's good though. Because of the thing, I could probably just cut it off here, like at this point. So let's do that. Let's look at my colors again. Actually, I want to cut it first with my outline. Beep. So I can see where that goes. There we go. What's going on now? Persona 5 is on Switch. Pokemon's coming soon. I missed out on Pokemon Gen 8. So, if there's anything super lore related, any kind of things that happened with that, I definitely didn't. Won't be able to tell you. I think it was just like the negative press of like all the Sword and Shield stuff of like saying how not good a game Sword and Shield was. It did make a mark on me, and I was like, maybe I'm not growing these Pokemons. Maybe I don't know. I know you can't do that, but it's like, man, I don't know. I think I'm good, you know. I never actually finished a Pokemon game anyway, so it's like, do I want to play like a game that everyone is kind of agreeing on as not being that good? It's like, maybe I'll sit this one out. Now there's Gen 9 now that's coming in like in a month, and I'm like, here we go again, and I'm not sure. Previews are looking okay. They're not super embarrassing, I guess. You know, they seem all right, but definitely because I missed a boat with a lot of the Gen 8 stuff, so I don't know what to expect, I guess, with Gen 9. I played Arceus, which was super fun, and that was a good breath of fresh air to like different from the usual 10-year-old kid does 8 badge storyline. I think after like Sun and Moon, I was like, I don't know. That was my tipping point with Sun and Moon. I was like, no, please, I don't wanna. No more, please. Yeah, that's good. Do I want shoes? Nah, I'm good. I think we're good. Oh yeah, there's always new designs in like new Pokemon. They're always good. Whether I want to like spend, you know, drop down 60 for an experience that like I might not have actual fun with. But it's like, oh, it's got the funny giraffe and the funny frog stereo guy. It's like, I don't know. How's this? We can clean up anything. Let's see. Because I put this all together in there, that's pretty good. So what's also like looks like a shadow here, or hooves are a different color behind the underneath there. Let's see. I like the darker crown there. Just differentiate it. We can add like some little shines here. Make it sparkly. We can do that. Yeah, it should be simple. Let's see what layers are on. Make a cookie. So we can add some little highlights here. Let's see what color. There we go. So for shines, the smaller the shine, I think the more, I want to be right about this, the smaller the shine, the more reflective it is, or at least it has more of a sharper glossiness factor. Because I think if we have a large shine, and I think that means that it's more receptive to light and being less, less actually reflective. Could be wrong, but if it's smaller, that means that it might be sharper. Probably want to look that up. Forget it wrong. I'm not a science magician. Let's see. That's pretty good. It's a different color from that one, but I think it's because it's a little bit darker. It's actually okay. I'll just go back and what color it is. There we go. Okay, do I want the wing to be on top of her leg? Yeah, I guess it's kind of like sitting on top of her whole body. I guess you would need like some sort of hole to really make that work, but oh well. Yep. You're Peach and Daisy. Hi. I am the one known as Daisy. I played Mario Kart Double Dash as a kid, and that's, I think that's what my first, I didn't really play 64. I didn't have a 64 growing up, so I didn't know that Daisy existed or any other characters. I think that was my first experience with Daisy, was like her. Let me know who she is. So that was a good introduction. Yeah, she's fun. Some line there. Maybe we can drop it down. There we go. Okay. Anything else? I feel like this is wide. Let's get the shoulder pad. It's a circle here. This is a circle, but it's kind of stretched out there. So if I want it to be more circle over here, I guess I can kind of just go in and kind of squish it in. A little bit there. Noticing that it's kind of deboobling there. So... this needs to be connected. Whoa. No, I just want to turn it into one, flattened into one piece. There's some method, or I guess I could just start over. Beep, there we go. It's always the solution is just to start with a new version. Okay, I'm more happy with that. I think they removed themselves after that point, so I'll have to go back in, and I guess I could just... Did I add it? Well, I guess it's more better than not, so... let's see, so I want PP and ZP to go all the way across. So the drawings stop existing at certain points, like these drawings. Either try to do them all at one time, or I just kind of figure out which ones disappear at a certain point and just make sure that they extend for the whole duration, because it's only the dress here only exists for this one frame, so I'm gonna have to put it back at the beginning and do this. So I'll have to do that for any section that changes or is only exposed for one frame here. So that's why I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do this a different way. So you can see. Could just move that back one. Figure out where this shoulder. Where's the dress? Let's move this back one. Looks like the earring only appears for one frame. Okay. That's okay. Zipp's cutie mark is okay. It shouldn't exist. Looks like her crown disappears. And so now, that extend. Perfect. Okay. Let's go out here. Stop later. Okay. And I think with the designs that don't work. I think I didn't play with this part. Didn't play with Zip Daisy too much here. Okay. Let's see. Could make it a little bit sparkly. We could add the same thing. We add a little shine. Let's get a lighter color. Circle. Figure out what layer we want it to be on, because it has to be on this layer. So I want it to be on top of everything, so it means I have to be on the toppest layer. I can make it a little bit larger. A little bit up. There we go. Okay. How's that? Ooh, what I can do is modify your shadow. Let's see. So I can deform it. Because her dress is covering it. So that looks okay. There we go. I'm liking that. Yeah. Whew. Okay. Let's just get some expressions, or get some, not quite an animation, but maybe just try to pose them. So okay. Let's think about what we want. Let's have them be, because I could have another sketch, another frame to the sketch. Move these back a bit, and then new drawing, new drawing. So maybe let's swap her over. Let's flip her. That's not black. Okay. Try to decide as I figured this out. Maybe like a close, maybe feeling regal. We get like her hoof up. Maybe feeling a little bit up. Get like a snooty, kind of like way up there. I'm doing this as a sketch, so I can very, very quickly kind of rough this in without having to play with 100 layers of puppets. I feel like that's good. Let's get Zip. And let's get a contrast, or instead, something more Should we get something like more like a whatever? Kind of like a. It's kind of like a. Something more closed-eyed or kind of like. I don't know. Or maybe something more Daisy related. Because I'm kind of. Get something more embarrassed. Let's add the little anime blush lines or something. Or I was thinking that the other way would then be kind of going more leaning forward and having it be more like shouting or something like, yeah, hey, I'm Daisy. Look at me. Hello, it is me, the one known as Daisy. Something more confident looking. I could work on Pipp while I figured Zips out a little bit. Because I think I'm okay with both, you know? Yeah, let's move on to Pipp here. So what I have to do is remove the zip. So I want to get all of the buttons so I don't have to fight with 100 billion buttons. With zip, hiding it. This should work. Sorta. And I got to. Oh, what I could do is no, because yeah, but also no. I wanted to face this way. I think I have to. Is that always below? I want it to be on top. I want the dress. Get our wings maybe up. Get the head face the other way. Really get that neck. Get that neck go on there. Yeah, puff out the neck. Puff out the chest. So I'm gonna keep using my little baubles here. Move that over. This is also a good puppet test to try and get a fairly extreme pose out of it. Make sure that all this can work, you know. Let's get this leg, and we're gonna lift it up. Kind of get it since more kind of racing back in. Kind of get the other one for stability. Kind of get each one to be a little bit less straight. There we go. That's cute looking already. All right. That means we're on a good track. Mouth. Maybe just like a little bit open. Nah, that'll be good. Eyes. We're gonna close them. Close. Oh, a wink. Get those high eyebrows. I can bring them down and then kind of get more of a curve to it instead, rather than literally just bringing them up. Oh, there's a lot of bubbles there, but they'll go away. And I think I want to play with my other handles. Kind of move her around a little bit. There we go. See how just like making a very, there's no designs there. They just kind of just a little bit something there. So I want to add a deformer onto the dress. Don't worry about that. That's how that's gonna do. So I want to add a deformer so I can have a little bit more control over dress shape. So just get a curve deformer and then lift it up. And so now I can also technically animate it now that I got a curve deformer onto it. There we go. And let's hide this. There we go. I feel like that's kind of breaking her leg just a little bit. And kind of lift this up. Get that kind of smug look. That's how it's going to render out. Let's see if there's any. Here's a bug here. So let's try it. Fix that. There we go. There we go. Okay. That's it's not too bad. There's a bug here for her head. So I can grab the head donut back here and then kind of, well, that's probably good also, is that I can shift her whole weight over there. This one's like one of my favorites, is that I can get the whole body to kind of get that kind of like grip kind of motion, and it squats and stretch too. Check that out. And these bubbles on her face here are her eyeballs. So I could probably do that with Zipp if her eyes are open. There we go. Looks like this pose is the one that I want. So what I can do is probably just like remove this frame from PP. I can remove a frame so that now it just goes straight to it instead of having that weird in-between one. So I was on the wrong frame there. Squishy. She can pancake and enlarge. She can be tall if she wants, but she go squish. Okay. That's why I never get into like digital artwork, is like I don't understand like how you can spend 3 or more hours on like on one drawing. Like, why can't I just get all these puppet parts and then just kind of arrange them? You know, you get your character, you know, your basic character, and then you just pose it. You know, I don't see why I want to spend so much time on one drawing or try to actually draw it out. You know, on one, what essentially would become one layer. You know, can't you just, I don't know. Anyway. Want to move the crown? Beep, it's an element, you know. All these systems in place, you know, all the craziness here. These all control the different, the bubbles up here. So there's the peg here, and then 2-point constraints to be able to have either top part or the bottom part. And then the handle connects to that. And then a couple other ones that go on top to do the top one here. So I can squish it. Why did you make a puppet? Well, it's the difference of, you know, why not draw it is then, well, then you only have this, you know. If you wanted to see her leg underneath here, wouldn't it just be, if it's a drawing, wouldn't it just be cut here? Or if I move it, then it won't exist past this point here because it's hidden by the dress. If I just draw like, if I draw it literally how it's drawn here, I wouldn't be able to do this and have an entire leg that then I can play with in other situations, you know. So that's why I like puppets more. In the case that I want to have move her arm over, and I guess I need to move that over. If it was literally clipped at the point where I drew it, per se, then I wouldn't be able to do that. Or do any of this craziness here, or any of this craziness. Like I want, oh man, like I wanted her to frown with an open face, you know, kind of a thing, or have her head move down. Whoops, I can do that, you know. I have all these systems able to play with animation and get good poses and drawings and stuff real easy. It's like one of those little drawing reference action figure guys where you can like pose them for drawing reference. And it's like, oh, okay. What if he was, you know, not movable? You know, what if he wasn't poseable? Then like every pose that you would use with him would just be like a reference where he just is there as like a single like T-pose kind of style. You know, wouldn't be able to get interesting pose or anything else out of it. So anyway, there's no wrong way, but it's like I feel like this is more obviously more powerful for getting more out of the single drawings. And obviously I'm still drawing each individual element as like I made the crown as a drawing. But now that it becomes an element, an object, I can then move it around in space and do other more stuff with it, you know? Like the dress was a drawing, but because I added some layers and curve deformers, I'm able to then deform it in special ways. So. And we can configure my drawings to look a little better. There we go. So why not just draw it as like, well, then you're limiting yourself of what the drawing is capable of. If you had a client that's like, hey, I don't like how she's facing this way, you know, or like I want her to have her head look up this way with an open, with open eyes or something, and it's like, well, you're stuck, you know. You have to like start over, like delete her head or something, boop, and then start over and then draw from there, and then spend how much time on that. But with this kind of system, I'm able to go whoop, and then, you know, open her eyes and everything. And then, you know, they're all kind of systems that all kind of work together, and able to have infinite amount of flexibility to get the poses of whatever I need, and all at the same time, you know. And drawing the whole costume, I'm able to use this to my advantage and make it a lot more interesting and repose it real simply, real flexible. So even with some commissions where I've had some ones that I've had a commissioner want me to do like a whole bunch of different characters and poses and stuff, and it's like, cool. And it kept coming back, you know, over and over. And it's like, well, I'm using the Crusher Girls puppet models that I made for Derpy test. And it's like, well, why not just use those little puppets and then be able to then get either this pose or that pose, you know, this one or this one with the same drawings. So I can save time and their money, you know, to have cheaper commissions in that sense as well. That I can use the exact same drawing elements and then be able to pose it into a different way. So Yeah. That's some sort of stance on that. Okay. Let's vote. Do you want 1 or 2 pose here for Zipp here? What would you guys want? So honestly, I'm good with both. Maybe we can just kind of open it up for a bit. Also, I just want to drink some more water. Let's see. I love my juice. Okay, hang on. Do I need to restart, or let's see? Oh, good. I don't think I have to. Alright, cool. I didn't need to restart the whole program. Good. Okay. Let's see. Cool. Okay. I'm back. It's one of those pop rock sodas. I'm good. Let's see. 1. We'll go with 1. Thank you. Oh, that was Cookie. He suggested it. Okay. Anyway. But I would be able to easily use the same puppet assets to make this one or this one. If I had to start from literally drawing it, I would have to draw this nicely and then like a portrait. You know, you wouldn't be able to undo a pose in a portrait drawing setting, you know. But with this kind of technology, I'm able to make either of these without having to make new assets. So anyway, into the juice zone. And just gonna move her downward, I think, or I can just make a new frame here. New frame, copy from that frame. So I have this one, and I can delete that one. Onion skin. do. What do we choose? 1? Okay. Okay. Actually, let's move the sketch over so I can see it. Like that. Okay. So do the same thing. Get all my bubbles. Okay. Let's see. They're not called bubbles, but I think they're a little bit easier to understand as a general term. Otherwise, I call them handles. And it's like, what does that mean? So, they just allow me to do certain tricks like this. Just try to move this anchor point. It's a donut, so I have to click on the outer rim of the donut, which isn't always fun. So we get something like that. I wanted a frown. I'll have to choose my frown. I mean, I had to make all these from scratch anyway, but because I'd set up all these systems, you know, like this, I did have to sit down and like make every single where the crash points are. Like these ones, I made these poses. So there was effort into making each of these, and then the computer is just able to interpolate between each one. So I'm still having to do work, basically. Like I made these poses that I'm cycling through, and I'm able to then kind of fluidly swap between them. So there's still effort and artistic guide. It's not all AI, you know, kind of style. Whereas like I'm able to generate some, you know, the different in-betweens, but I still have to feed it what I want, and then it's gonna be determined whether or not I gave it good information or not, whether or not it's gonna turn out good. So it's still not magic, but it's It still takes effort. Obviously all this effort to make this now. Where, if I can get the whole torso here, kind of like rotated downward, kind of like downward like that. Need something more. I've had to set up each one of these individual points as well, you can see here. So still a lot of work. Let's see. That's all good. Just scrunch your head just to fit within the neck. Now that I've kind of made this a little bit too small. Something back here. What are you? What are you? Oh, you're the wing. Oh, okay. Wing, you can go. You're flipped around. You can just go there. Other wing. Can you go underneath her arm? Guess I could just raise her arm instead. That's just as easy. I want the pivot point over here. Okay, so I got a general pose. Happy with that. There we go. What was it? She's like looking off to the side. Rip. See, like her other eye is off the screen, or off her eyeball hole. So I can try and grab the other eyeball and just kind of the other handle. I didn't grab her actual eye pieces, but I was able to grab the handle that kind of controls her other eye, and then kind of do that. Sometimes I like to change her eyeball height to be a little bit lower. I feel like that kind of creates a difference. Zipp's expressions are always like so weird that they're always like kind of squinty. Like that one infamous picture of her where she's kind of like super squinty. Her eyes are so closed. See that I have different eyebrow general expressions. So I drew these. And I think I want to make sure these are the right colors. Let's see the layers was on. And see why this is overlapping it. So I'm still gonna take a artistic eye to kind of like look through and go like, well, that's not right. Let me clean it up for you. I feel like that's a bit much. It's too sad. So we'll go back in and add some deformers. Kind of straighten it out a little bit. Which is not like super sad. So I'll just kind of have this one be, this one almost a little bit more concerned looking instead. Kind of go off her skull picture there. Use these little dots here as my cheeks. See what that renders. So there's a little hole there. So I can just kind of push and pull with relative ease. Play with the expression. Yeah. So it's something like that. So I think I want to play with the, fix up that. I think I want to play with the matte resize. because that'll fix this issue. Where even am I? Show me the frame I'm on. I'm over here. Keyframe. 0.15, that's 0.2. Okay. So I think that only happens, it only gets fixed in the actual render version. See, there's a hole there because the actual drawing itself is too small. So let's go back in and clean some of this up. That should work. There we go. If I don't like that mouth placement, I can also play with that. The mouth. I can actually move the whole mouth system itself. Kind of this side, maybe more. A little smaller. Get a different expression like that. And let's add the blush. That'll be part of that system if I do that, but if I do that, right out to be its own system. Don't want to connect it to there. I can connect it to here because I got the nostrils there. Yeah, okay. Last thing here. So I want Z blush 1, Z blush 2. So I could have it on different Z layers as well. So they both need. I have to like look around my microphone to see what I'm doing here. Get my pegs here. Connect them up to the head. And see where they can go. Is that it can go here for now, and then I can play with the Z depth, which isn't related to Z. It's the Z here is a zip blush, and then the Z depth is whether or not it's actually in 3D perspective. So what should we do? Should we do animate style or maybe something closer to how the G4 show did it? Or I guess I do both. Where you get some, where am I? Let's get a kind of hot pink. Hot pink's here. It's gonna get maybe somewhere there. A little low on transparency. And just gotta get some lines here. Thank you, Judd. Let's get some tapered lines. Once I get one of these, then I can just kind of copy paste onto the other one, so don't worry about that. And a part of the cheek. So let's make it more part of the cheek. And then on a lower layer, paste this onto higher layer, get a lower layer, get a new color. This will be even more transparent, and it is just going to be just like a circle. Can make it a, not exactly a gradient, I guess a gradient. And we'll do a radial gradient that goes from this to this, but 0%. Get a circle, fill it, and then with the fill color here, change the shape of it to match my shape. Hi Thomas, welcome, welcome. And so we get something like that. This needs to be a little bigger. Let's go to the other side and make it a little bit. So this is the intensity now. Something happened. Undo that. Make these a little bit less. So you still get something like that. Let's make it a little bit thinner. That'll be inside of here. Stretch these out and then kind of copy and paste these ones. Get these ones to be super thin. And let's make these a little bit shorter. So we get something like that. There we go. Just want it to be somewhat minimal. You don't really see it too much. But now it's an object, so I can now play with it. Center point. Okay, so now I can take this drawing, I can select every layer, copy, blush 2, select, paste. It'll be its own object as well. Move this over. And then what I want to do is, let's see, wait for it to save. Put that over there, swap it around. And then the trick is that I want it to be below the nose. So I want to see where nose goes. Snout, nostrils. So I want to follow the noodle between the snout and Z2 and figure out which one's where. So I think it's this one. So I'm going to bring this one over here. So this is from left to right of what displays on top. So this is like the top and this is the bottom on the right. So if I move the blush below the layer of the snout, that means it's actually going to render below it. So I don't have to play too much with Z up there. What I could do is also do another fancy trick. Where I can have it be cut between the skull art. So one other cutter. Have it exists between where the skull art is. Reverse it. And I think that means that it should only exist inside of there. I think I actually want to skull art. Let's see where everything lies. I see. So that is color art instead. So let's make a new thing there. Spell it the English way. Color art. Take this, get it from the skull. Skull color art. Cut there. And then select this. There we go. So now the blush only exists on the skull's color art layer. And so now I can freely move this around without having to make sure that it's perfect. Kind of squish it down, rotate it, get the other one, bring it up a little bit larger. There we go. Okay. Not too shabby. We'll get Pipp in. Bring her in. No. And let's remove all of our bubbles and center them good in the frame. Actually, let's leave that on select, render. Meow. Yay! All right, we did a thing. Awesome. Sometimes I can go back in and say like, oh, well, that drawing's not good, or I can adjust some stuff, but I think on the whole, that's gonna be it. Well, there we go. Oh, that was fun. I had fun. This is great. Look at him go. This is so good. This is great. Yeah, so I'll have, because we did the other characters. We did Sunny and Izzy the last couple weeks. I think I played with them a little bit, cleaned them up slightly. So once we get all of them, I'll do a special montage or something. I'll do something to have them all be in one easy place for you to look at. But next week we'll do Misty, which is the new character from the new season of Marky Mark, and I guess also in Tiger Tail. I'll try and maybe in the post I'll put on Discord. I'll have a picture so you guys can know which one I'm talking about. So happy with this picture. But yeah. So I won't be posting, if you're looking for this picture, it'll be more closer to hopefully before Halloween, like a day before or so. I'll do it on the Sunday. So yeah, wait until then, and then we'll do all of the characters in one big post. And I'll do something one big post and do something special with them all. So, but yeah, there we go. So, but for now, enjoy this. And then we'll continue with this Halloween month-long thing special with the last character. We'll do Misty, and then that'll be it for the whole cast. And every single main character, that matters is part of the thing. This little event. That's right. Let's go to toaster time. Do. All right. Alrighty. Let's close that so I can have more frames. All right. Whew. Well, I kind of explained everything actually. Yeah. So I'll have to, in the meantime, I'll have to make an entire Misty puppet, and then we gotta dress her up, all within a week. Well, I'll also try to do, a whole week's worth of work at a trophy facility. So, yeah, full time. Yeah. Is it 40 hours per week? Yeah. So, take whatever hours are in a week, then minus 40. That's how much time I got. Yeah, boy. What's happening? 9 days to Halloween. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Somehow I managed to... Well, I had to sort of cheat where I wanted to do each character on their own own stream. But I guess it kind of worked out that they're Zipp and Pipp were sisters, so it's like, let's do a duo. And that's more fun. Yeah, if I wanted to do Hitch, I would have to start from scratch from the head point. That their heads, male heads are a little bit different with their stallion heads. I had to see you next stream. Okay, thank you, Dakota. Appreciate it. I'll have to start from scratch with the skull face. Which I don't think it'll be too much work now that I've done so much prep work with these characters. For this week, I've had to make Zipp and Pipp's updated models with all the bubbles, the handles, as well as fix some other small stuff, which I guess when posing I found some other small bugs, so like the cheeks a lot to update. But usually during animation, if I make a new one, I'll probably just kind of do that same kind of fix on its own anyway. So it's usually not too much of a problem. If like her hair was completely messed up, then I might start to rethink about it. But I think it all kind of worked out pretty well. So still kind of happy with that. Let's see. I'll get some brain juice so I can think about some other stuff. Let's see, you guys. Anything else to talk about? Yeah, let me know. Alright. Bunch of video games are coming out soon, or at least next month. Talked a little about Pokemon. I think I'll play Arceus a little bit more. I got pretty far. I think I got to like the last main big section, so I've been having more fun with that style of like it being not as reliant on training battles every 5 minutes. I think this way kind of like maybe a little bit jaded. It's like I can't keep doing these Pokemon battles like every 5 to 10 minutes with like these sometimes super powerful Pokemon. That's like, hey, please no, I wanna experience the story or the world. I think exploration and side missions are more my bread and butter, or like are more what I like to do in video games is to run around and have fun. Like I don't want to be challenged just on these big fights pretty frequently. So I just never been good at making a good team. It's like it's almost impossible too as well. I try to read up on some watch videos of people like making good teams and it's like or playing the game well. And it's like, but what if that's not gonna cover every single battle though? And they're like, well, if you have this Pokemon with these exact stats, with these exact moves, then it'll be good at a whole bunch of stuff, but also maybe, you have to get someone else. And it's like, how do you cover everything? And it's like, how do you get even a Pokemon with those exact, like, stats? And don't they, like, level up? And it's like, don't they change some stats as well? I don't know. There's, like, those base stats. Like I said, base stats. Each one's individual. So, yeah. See you, Ruffian. Thank you. So, I think I'll probably skip out on Scarlet Violet. It's because I'm kind of tired of main games, where it's going to be 10-year-old beats, I guess, 18 badges now in Scarlet Violet and tries to do an adventure. But I guess it's that more open world, which is nice. And I think that they said you had to initialize the trainer battles. So that's pretty good, but I don't know. I think I want to finish Arceus first before thinking about Scarlet Violet. Yeah. Let's see, in Sonic, that's more open world too, but at that point, I feel like I would just wait for Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like I would more fun with that. And that's coming really soon as well. Yeah. I guess I'm a Sonic fan that likes everything but playing the games. I feel like playing the games is not fun. I guess I'm just bad at playing video games in general. That kind of makes it hard. Like I played, Mario 64 a couple days ago, and it's like, this is not fun. And I was like blaming the controls. It's like they are objectively pretty not great, especially when they go back to like a 20-year-old game with the way that we evolved how to have better control over the camera and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so probably I think my last game I got was Splatoon 3, and that's been super fun. want to finish the story mode, if that's possible. I don't know how difficult it really gets, but up to the point where I am now, it's been almost smooth sailing, so it seems to be a little bit easier than like the last 2 games story modes, so it's more approachable. Because in the more open areas, you can go to any of the levels in any order. So that's nice. It's like if you get one that's stuck, you get stuck on, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna skip it then and then come back later. But there's no way to really be better than next time, you know, without just like really grinding and saying like I'm gonna try and figure it out. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I guess with everything, with all that plans. And of course, meanwhile, I'm also trying to make sure that I'm awake during the rest of the day, and trying to work on the Derpy movie, which I got some actually good progress on. I'll probably put that in a Patreon post to say some. I found a technical thing that I've really been hung up on for like a long while, where I wanted to do some special shading effect, and it's like, well, let me try and do it in Flash. This should work. Let me mask, you know, the character itself, so I can have like a shadow. I was like, I want to make a shadow on a character. How do I go about that? And I want it to be like a moving shadow. And it's like, oh well, let me see if I can add a mask and then try to duplicate the character and then try to shift its position and then tint it down. And it's like, oh, this should work. You know, in theory, that all makes sense. And did it in Flash, and it's like it blew up. It started to like not render correctly. It's like the mask was like somewhat working, and it's like, why is it somewhat, you know, why is it breaking? So I actually did it in Blender, and it's like it like worked, and it's like it had the clipping mask, and it's like somehow just worked really well. It's like, how does this, you know, Blender isn't really, you know, meant to do all these, you know, compositing masking stuff that's like, you know, that animate as a 2D software that has all these, you know, very somewhat low level kind of like effects on it. Why was it not able to actually do that correctly? Yeah, I don't know, mysteries. Anyway, let's see, you know, who's left. I don't know, but yeah. So I'll post that on Patreon, and I'll get the Discord post so you guys can do some custom requests for the Misty character, and because it means I'll also have to create her. And what I would say about the stallion head is that it'd probably just be remaking the snout and just kind of changing its shape, which I think about might not be too tricky. So maybe in the future I'll be able to make. I'll spend some time and make a stallion base, I guess, and then I can make Hitch and Sprout, and see how that goes. But yeah, we have a bit too many characters already to like having to deal with an animate. That I think we're at a good point where it's like I don't think we need to have every character in every shot. As well as just takes forever to animate as well. But I guess you kind of see like how easy it is once you get a super rigged up rig that's like can get some of those like the Peach and Daisy poses were fairly simple to come about, and but that was just like a layout, kind of like with a rough layout of how I would kind of get those in, and then you might just go in and super refine it and make sure that it's as good as it can be, and then that would be your keyframe, and then you have to make another keyframe like 10 frames later. But usually we use the first keyframe as our base and then go off from there. So everything's kind of like be almost dependent on that first keyframe to make sure that that's good. So if you just kind of rough it out and say like, oh, whatever, I'm just gonna use this as my general pose, and it's like you have to, then if the leg's not working well, then you have to, then every pose after that will have a distorted leg or something. So it's like it's important to make sure that your initial keyframes as good as possible. Make sure to pose everything is positioned how you want it, so that when you move on, it'll stay consistent and be goodly consistent. Yeah. G'day. Jigger. Hey, cool. Is that a hello? Okay. Because I was about to almost like wrap up the stream. This is usually my time to talk, kind of, and chill out with you guys, kind of section. If you're new, usually I do 2 hours of animating and drawing, and then I kind of sign off with this elongated speech, I guess, monologue that I got going on here. I guess the old the colloquial "good day, mate" TF2 quote. Okay. Sure. Okie dokie. Yeah, well, good to see you. I appreciate it. I hope you, if you just joined, you can watch the VOD as it gets uploaded soon after the stream, so you can watch the rest of this. See how the artwork turned out. Which I guess maybe I could because I got this slideshow. I just think it's more priority. Because I was thinking I could put the drawing that I did today and put it in the corner, but I guess I already got the slideshow. Huh. Anyway. I'm kind of burnt out now. I probably should have lunch. I had one waffle today. I like super worked trying to get everything set up for today's stream, where I had to set up Pipp and Zipp's master controllers and get my bat costume and set that up. So I did that all throughout the night. Probably finished around like 12:30 or something last night, and I was tired. And then I don't really have good alarms for Saturday and Sunday, so usually they like wake me up too early or too late that it's like I can't wake up. So I actually got up at like an hour before today's stream. So, and I was only able to, there was only like one Eggo waffle in the box. I was like, well, if I get one more, I usually have 2 waffles. If I want to have 2 waffles, I would have to open another box and then steal one from there, from the new box, and then eat the last one from the old box, and then I would have 2. But then I was thinking, if I'd steal one from the new box, because I always have 10, that means I would eventually also get the same situation where I have 1 left over. I was like, oh no. So I was like, oh man. So I only had 1 Eggo waffle of energy in my system right now, and it's probably gone from all me talking. So I was like, yeah, saying bye and everything is probably gonna be a good thing now. So, thank you guys. Thank you, Jen. We'll be back next week with some with a new character, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah. So until then, I think I'll wrap it up now. Thank you guys. Hope this was fun. Stay excited for next time, which will be same day at the same time. So yeah, there you go. Diamond Tears, I'm not sure. Oh, Diamond Tiara? Yeah. Well, these are all fan art, so I'm not sure. Actually, I know who drew them all, but I don't know them personally and everything to know how to send you to their socials or whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of up to you guys whether or not you watermark your stuff. So, but yeah. Which reminds me, I've always been wobbling whether or not I actually add watermarks. I try to do it whenever I remember. Or at least in the last one with the Sunny falling down animation. I think I added credits because I had to say like I used Source Filmmaker sound effects, so which I guess is just general Valve and wherever they get it. So it's like I don't know whether or not just Valve stole it from somewhere. So it's like I had to say that it's from the source of them in some way. Ooh. Anyway though, thank you though. Ooh, music's gone. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. Bye guys. All right. See you then. Bye everyone. Cha. I don't know what a bat sounds like. It's kind of like a squeak. That's not a. Anyway. Eh. Thank you guys. All right. Bye, everyone.